Yo, Joe, talking comics. Here's your host. It's A Real American Brian.
And it's that time. It's time to read some more G.I. Joe, A Real American Hero. Issue number 45. Mike Zeck and John Beatty give us this cool cover of Zartan sneaking through the jungle, coming up behind Ripcord. In Search of Candy, written by Larry Hama, pencils by Rod Wiggum. Ripcord and Ace are flying over Cobra Island, getting pictures of all the updated Cobra activity. Ripcord is still in a bad mood after finding out his girlfriend Candy was kidnapped by Buzzer, her dad was a CG, and she might be a Cobra spy herself. Hawk is with General Austin in the hospital, giving him updates on the Cobra Island recon. The pictures are fuzzy, and Austin wishes they had a man on the ground. Flint introduces Quick Kick and Alpine to Snake Eyes and Spirit. Then Snake Eyes overhears a message coming in from the Soft Master, telling who the killer of the Hard Master is. Ripcord and Ace are making another nighttime pass over Cobra Island, when Ripcord takes it on himself to eject and head down to the island. General Austin realizes that Hawk sent Ripcord on this mission knowing he would take it on himself to get to the island. Hawk reveals that now they must send a squad to pull him out, and while they are there, I guess they could take some pictures. Professor Apple and Zartan continue to be suspicious of the plane flying over the island, while Ripcord pulls his chute and descends on Cobra Island. Snake Eyes breaks into Storm Shadow's secret water tower and gives him the message. The killer of the Hardmaster is... Ripcord on the island buries his chute and heads out. Professor Apple calls Cobra Commander and asks him to send troops out to investigate the possible G.I. Joe activity. But Cobra Commander refuses. He then tells the professor there has been no sign of his daughter since her escape. Zartan heads out on his own. Storm Shadow and Snake Eyes head out after the Hardmaster's killer, someone who snuck into a ninja compound to steal one of Storm Shadow's arrows, fired it with enough force and accuracy to kill the Ninja Master, and had enough pull with Cobra to have a getaway helicopter ready for him. Ripcord finds a Cobra trooper and tries to get information on Professor Apple from him, while Zartan looks on. He was expecting two ninjas with a score to settle. He pulls his bowstring back, ready to fire at Ripcord. Storm Shadow takes Snake Eyes to Baroness's personal Rattler. They are going to steal it to fly to Cobra Island. Wild Bill is flying Flint, Quick Kick, Alpine, and Spirit to Cobra Island to go after Ripcord. Just as the Cobra Trooper is about to give up information on Apple, an arrow passes through him and hits Ripcord in the arm as well. As Ripcord begins patching himself up, Zartan wishes he had the sound amplification gear that he had on that secret mission. General Austin makes a phone call and officially retires. While getting a secret plan approved, he lets Hawk know that he has been promoted. General Hawk is now the commander of the G.I. Joe team. Storm Shadow goes over the clues they missed in the past. They assumed the Hardmaster's killer had to be a ninja to pull the feet off, but never considered it could have been someone doing it with technology. A compound bow with sound amplification, directional ranging equipment, and someone who could disguise themselves as a ninja. Of course it was Zartan, and now Storm Shadow knows where to find his revenge. Zartan and Ripcord exchange fire. Zartan knocks Ripcord's helmet off, almost taking him out. As Zartan plans for his kill shot, Ripcord fires first, taking out Zartan's bow and clipping his shoulder. Ripcord makes an adjustment and aims for a shot in Zartan's chest as he watches Zartan begin to fade away. Ripcord realizes Zartan can blend into the environment like a chameleon, so he sets a trap for him. As Zartan sneaks up on what he thinks is Ripcord, he finds a pile of his gear, and Ripcord reaches up out of the mud to grab him. An unscheduled Cobra Rattler landing is approved on the island. The ninjas have arrived. Storm Shadow lets Snake Eyes know if they want to be successful, they must be swift and ruthless. The other Joes have arrived at Cobra Island and drop out of the bomber on a raft, ready to go after Ripcord. Ripcord stands triumphant and then reveals that it is really Zartan taking over Ripcord's identity. Wow, we got some action cooking here. Everyone is coming to Cobra Island and stuff is about to go off. My favorite panel from this one is Storm Shadow focused on revenge. His only defense up till now was secrecy, but now that I know nothing will stop me from taking my revenge. Nothing. I'm going to give this issue 4.5 flag points. I didn't want this one to end. Can't wait to get into the next issue and figure out what happens with Zartan. But that is issue 45, Now You Know, and knowing is half the battle. Subscribe so you don't miss out the next video where we pick up the rest of this story.
That was A Real American Brian. And now you know, because knowing is half the Brian.